What's up everyone? I have a 5 Boitata victory for you today. I actually did a little bit of research because I didn't want to seem stupid in front of camera, and I believe that is how you pronounce it. You know, like the tier 5 fire snake that I have in the thumbnail most likely. We are doing a 5 of a kind of that. And first of all, I really want to take the requester for this because it is in fact a flame pet, and I wanted to do a 5 of a kind of this eventually. So thank you very much for requesting it. I actually put in quite a bit of effort into getting this. It took like somewhere around 50 attempts, which kind of surprised me, to be honest with you, because like on first inspection the Boitata looks like a powerful pet, but I did some playtesting and I am afraid to say that it's not that good as it seems. So yeah, at least we managed to get the 5 of a kind for this video. And you'll see the setup that I'm going to go for in a second, but for now we're just going to take a wyvern. Very good tier 3 pet. I even take it over the weasel nowadays because most of all you want a good level up when you're going for these runs, and the wyvern makes sure that you get a decent level up. So yeah, we have something good going for us right here. Most of the time we're going to be leveling up on turn 7 and turn 9, hoping to get some decent tier 5 and 6 units. If you want to go for this 5 of a kind, I will leave a link into the description regarding the pack that I used, but it's just very generic. I have a lot of scaling, as you should when you have a 5 of a kind going. But yeah, for now we're just going to hopefully not lose too much in the early game, and unfortunately here we do lose our first heart because of a 1 HP breakpoint, which happens sometimes, so we don't have to get too mad over it. At this point in the run I usually have lost more than 1 heart on most of my attempts, so I don't really mind losing only a single heart. We get a capybara right here, which is super useful to have. We are going to be getting a lot of stats in the shop, and maybe it's going to prevent us from losing. For now though, our team seems pretty powerful, so we don't have to worry about that. Maybe we pick up another wyvern, which we thankfully do get in the shop. Unfortunately not buffed by the capybara, but we will take the level regardless, and we level up into 4 different selections, so you can see the power of the wyvern right here, out of which we will take the lobster. Lobster plus capybara giving insane amount of buffs to whatever we happen to roll into in the shop. And you can see a base stat osprey very quickly turns into a 7-7, which is now our biggest unit on the entire team, which is kinda nuts. But yeah, I think we should be okay. It's actually looking pretty iffy, and that spider could have perhaps screwed us over, but thankfully they only got a goldfish out of it, so we don't have to worry. And yeah, this is one of the very important turns, so let's see how it goes. We roll into a blobfish, which I think I will soon pill. If for anything else, just for the level up, maybe we find something that we actually want. And we even get a banana onto it, so we are getting a monkey guaranteed. A 6-6 monkey because of the lobster, which is very nice to see. And we level into the first Boitata of the run. The stat line is kind of weird on this unit. It's like a 2-9, and of course because of the crisp it ends up dealing an extra 6 damage, but I really would have preferred if it had a more balanced stat line instead of this. Whatever the case though, I think we're going to be winning on this turn because our monkey is bigger than theirs. And yeah, I have to say we have a pretty good start for the run right here. Monkey plus one of the 5 of a kind units that we want for the scaling. So yeah, all that we need now is to find the rest of them and hopefully find a better, more efficient way of scaling that is not the monkey. Monkey can be pretty good in turtle pack, but I feel like in custom packs you're really looking for something that you can use the scaling curve multiple times a turn, something like a bird of paradise or a dragon. Thankfully here we don't lose, we end up drawing, so we have a lot of hearts, and our transition is going to hurt, so having a lot of hearts is going to be very beneficial for us. we get a level 2 lobster, which results in a very desirable tier 6 unit, which is right here, the elephant seal. I think I might even sell the wyvern for it because it has done its job. And yeah, the elephant seal is what we will use for the scaling, but before that happens, I really want to get more boitatas on the team. So here we go, we found the second one, and I'm even going to sell the monkey for it. Lobster is going to provide better buffs for this turn. And yeah, level 1.5 on the elephant seal now that we build the blobfish onto it. So very good setup right here, and if we don't end up losing, I think we'll be perfectly fine to transition into the victory. Unfortunately, our team is super weak right now, but maybe the boitatas remove some clutch equipment. As it happens though, we actually get very lucky and match up against a weak looking team, so we end up winning regardless. And yeah, now the setup is just find the level 2 elephant seal, find the rest of the boitatas that we need. Here is the level 2 that I just mentioned a second ago, and we level up into a tier X, which I think I will take. Boitata is a tier 5 unit, so it can receive tier X buffs, even though it's not guaranteed to hit it. We do get lucky though and get the double buffs on the double boitatas. Unfortunately here it looks like we will most likely lose. It did end up being a loss, but it was actually a lot closer than I gave it credit for. I guess the crisp is already doing pretty good things for us. As we find the double boitata, I was going to call it a level 2, but it's only level 1 sadly. And now we can start scaling with the elephant seal. And honestly, this kind of scaling just reminds me of the old times where I would use the good old seal that is tier 5, getting turtle pack 5 of a kinds. Because it's like mostly generic, you just buy the 3 perks that you get every single turn and hopefully the stats get good enough before you lose. Here we actually end up being a draw, so that is perfect for us because after we get to 50-50 stats, I think the boitatas will have a very decent shot of winning. The ability is actually very powerful, replacing very clutch equipment from the opponent with crisps, so you can see right there we managed to remove a 1-up. We also removed a garlic right there, I believe. And yeah, especially for the late game when you have multiple 50-50s with melon, and they also have multiple 50-50s with melon, you get to remove their melon. And if you get it to level 2, you get to remove their melon twice, so maybe you can get a 2-for-1 trade with a single boitata. That is the hope anyway, but will we have enough money to buy the chocolates is the question. And even more important than that is if we are actually going to survive until that late. For now it's looking pretty decent, we have enough stats to survive and actually claim the victory. But as I was saying, I don't think the boitata really is that much of a good unit because like it's trying to do the same thing that the raccoon is trying to do, but it's just doing it worse. Like even in this scenario where the boitata is supposed to shine over the raccoon because the opponent has no equipment, we only end up drawing, so that's not perfect. But also when it comes to crisping canopy pets, you have also the red dragon at tier 5 which crisps the backline, which in most cases can be even more beneficial than crisping the frontline. For example with a summon team, or right here with this octopus that had melon in the back. Thankfully in this situation it didn't matter because we do have the stats, but yeah, I'm sad to say that I'm not super impressed with the boitata, and most likely I won't be putting it in my custom packs, even though it's kind of a flame pet because it crisps enemy units, which is a little bit sad, but maybe I hope to include it in the future as we face a 5 of a kind Hydra grinder perhaps. And will we actually win right here? I don't think we will, yeah. Unfortunately they did have another Hydra in the Beluga, so that was an unexpected loss right there, but what can you do? We have some pretty decent stats. We're also going to start putting equipment on our stuff because I really want to trade 2-for-1. And that is most likely the strength of this build, so we're going to hope to find some pets that have decent stats and some equipment on the enemy so we get to remove it and then trade up. But here we actually face a pretty interesting looking team with a level 2 hyena, or was that level 3, whatever the case though. We end up beating them because we have these stats, and we are getting very near to the win. 2 more trophies left to go. We are going to have to transition away from the elephant seal at the end of this turn if we end up winning. We actually get to face a slot player, which is super neat, and thankfully we do end up beating them, but I hope they got their win. And yeah, this is going to be the final turn that comes up right here. Getting some final buffs with the elephant seal. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get a single level 2, but what can you do? We're going to sell the elephant seal now, buy the last boitata and start leveling up, but I don't think it's going to matter. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this run, the 5 of a kind flame. So if you did enjoy, I hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.